What's up, guys, and welcome back to another video here. Working on my junk. Yeah, so this one's a little different. I know I've been working on my old truck. Got it running. Runs pretty good now, so no more work on that for a little bit. Now it's getting kind of bored. I have too much free time. Unfortunately for my wallet, that just means another project. So this one I've been toying with for probably a year and a bit now. I've had this piece of crap now for a year in its current condition, and I don't have the heart to throw it out. So that just means that I have to fix it, I guess. I guess we'll find out. So without further ado, here is my turd. So this is my 2000 Sportster. Malibu Sportster that I bought in, when was it now? 2019. So this boat I originally got screwed on when I bought it, and now it sits here broken after using it for a year. So yeah, so I'll tell you about the whole story here. So the back end of the boat, it's not like in minty condition. Well, it doesn't look like it because this is all fresh gel coat. When I bought the boat, I drove all the way to Quebec for some French guy to absolutely screw me on this turd. And he did not disclose that this whole corner of the boat was absolutely wrecked, real bad, and in need of a structural repair. And then all in the same while, the gel needed to be fixed from here all the way around, all the way up to like the driver's pillar back there. It was actually a pretty extensive repair. And then he re-gelled the back for me because the stupid French guy gelled the whole back of the boat white, pure white, and this is a beige boat. So anyways, this got fixed. I enjoyed the boat for about a year. Well, not a year. It was 1 year. That's what it was. And then we were out one weekend, kind of later in the evening, and we ended up finding a nice rock at about 7 miles an hour, idle speed. And under here, I don't even know where it is now, but under the duct tape there, that's where the tracking fins usually are. Well, this front fin just went like this, got caught under the rock, and decided to make its way through the fiberglass. So there's a pretty big hole under here. Knocked one of the other fins almost off. The other one was fine. It was a little bent, but yeah, then the prop strut and the rudder, everything back there got a little bit bent. So it essentially wiped the entire bottom side of the boat out and left me with a holy boat. So this boat got parked for a year, and I bought another 99 response to replace this thing. And I'm actually very happy with my 99. There's no problems with it. And it skis, actually, a lot better than this 2000 Sportster, because anybody that knows Malibus knows this is kind of their wake hull. This was the SV23 before the Diamond. The Diamond actually skis considerably better. I couldn't believe it myself. But yeah, so I bought this boat as a project. It was more of a project than I wanted it to be, so I am way too much money into this thing to throw it out. And since it's broken, it's worthless to anybody else. So, well, what do you do with that? Either pay to bring it to the dump, or you fix it. So here's my problem, though. About a year ago, I decided I was gonna sell the motor out of this thing. So now this boat has no motor. Yeah, there's a nice motor sitting underneath one of my shelves in the shop there. It's been sitting there for a year, about a year. And I've been toying with this idea for about a year. So I don't know if it fits the boat, but this is the plan. And we'll see if it works out. We'll see how much it works out. Because if it doesn't work out, then I'll just give up on it, and who cares? Nothing really lost. And I get to make some cool parts potentially. So Yes, this boat is now it's pretty much going to be exclusively my dink around boat, and maybe we'll see how it barefoots. But yeah, so I got like two options with this thing. It had a carbureted 350, made pretty good power. This boat only weighs like 2,200 pounds, so it's really not too much boat to move around. So I could put either a higher horsepower LS in this boat, or you do something no one's seen, especially not in a ski boat like this, and you put a 6.6 Duramax under there. Now don't ask me why, because I'm going to tell you I'm a little bit of a nutcase. I like my diesel toys with the Cummins truck and all, but yeah, so that's the plan. Underneath that nice doghouse, we're gonna try to stick a 6.6 Duramax under there. So anyways, today we're just looking and assessing a little bit, and I mean, this thing's been sitting in the yard for a year. It looks disgusting. The dash is gone because I tried swapping it in my 99 and just ended up fixing my 99 because it was too much work. So this is all blown up, and none of those gauges even worked anyways. So I mean, yeah, when I said I brought a project, I meant it. And just a little word of advice: unless you're gonna pay like $500 for a project, don't buy it. I got absolutely sewered on this boat, and I think the only way out is to sewer yourself more. I think that's how it works. So, anyways, the nice part about this boat is it's all fiberglass boat, and I mean, then it can't rot. So stringers are all fiberglass, the floors are all fiberglass. So even though this thing's pretty soaked right now and nasty, it'll still be fine. So yeah, here's where the old 350 used to lie. It used to live in here. And now it may look like plenty of room for activities. I honestly don't know how much room for activities there is. So my plan on this thing is, right now, is to actually make a wood cutout of kind of how the stringer is shaped in this cavity. And then make some fake stringers out of wood that I can mount the transmission mounts and the motor mounts to inside the shop, and we can mock everything up, get the angles right, get all the motor mounts done, because we're going to be using a similar transmission to what came out of here, same exact outside dimensions, just different inside dimensions. And then yeah, adapter motor mounts to small block Chevy. So my preliminary measurements have shown me that the motor is going to fit this way, and the motor is just going to fit this way inside the motor box. But I have no idea how it's going to fit height-wise. Like how it looks in the shop, I have it mocked up on a pallet. This motor box is probably going to have to come up at least 3 inches. But really everything else looks like it'll fit. So the biggest challenges on here that I've looked at so far is, well, expense. It's not going to be cheap. Diesel stuff isn't cheap. And then intercooler setup is going to be actually physically difficult to do. I don't know if I'm going to have enough room to put the intercooler in the hull. Not in the hull, but here, kind of in between the stringers, and then run my charge pipes up the back of the motor. That's a plan. That's an idea. You can see how much room we have, how much we have to play with and stuff. But yeah. Alright, so back in the shop, here is the drivetrain that I've been playing with. So this is 09 or 09 LMM. I bought it as a core, so I have no idea what's wrong with it. So it'll need some work, but that's okay because it'll be coming apart anyways. But yes, so you can see LMM bolted to the old transmission that came out of that Malibu. So this is a ZF Hearth 45C transmission. It's only good to 450 foot-pounds of torque, roughly. So the 45C. So there's two other transmissions that are available. One is almost identical to this. I think they just raised the line pressure. Maybe they add a couple clutches to the same stack. Exactly the same case. Bolts right up to the same bell housing adapter. The only difference they have on that one, different output shaft size, flange. But this flange actually bolts onto that transmission, so it's no problem. So that's 63C. Then again, that's only good to about 360 horse and, I don't know, 600 foot-pounds of torque. Something like that. So they make a third one, and I have yet to find out what the availability is on this one, but it's the 88C transmission, so it's the exact same case. They just increase the input shaft diameter, so different damper plate, different input shaft, and then the same changes as the 63C, and I believe they raised the shift line pressure on that as well. So it's a one-to-one transmission that came out of the boat. So what I'm planning on doing is using the transmission mounting points. So they were right here. They were on those brackets in the engine bay. So my plan is to use the same transmission location, and wherever the motor ends up being, the motor ends up being. So that means then we won't have issues with shaft alignment, the flange placement, the shaft that's under the boat where the propeller sits, and it doesn't change any of that geometry. That's all the same. This stays the same. It's a mechanical shift transmission. Yeah, so it makes it easier. It's not easy, but easier. But yeah, so difficulties on this thing. I have to get a custom flywheel adapter made to increase the mass of the flywheel so we don't have random misfire problems with the diesel. And then also to adapt the Duramax the Duramax flex plate over to the damper plate of the ZF transmission. So that's a big thing. And we also got to build custom, because I'm not paying $4,000 for a set, $4,000 US, for a set of water jacketed headers, and then turbo up pipes. And then also we're going to have to do a turbo down pipe as well. I've yet to determine whether that's just going to be water injected or water jacketed for a short period of time. But yeah, so that's the big thing. Fitment wise, like I said, I believe it's going to fit this way, and I believe even with the headers it's going to fit this way. So that's going to be interesting. I have to lift it in there and check for sure. But yeah, then we're going to have to section the oil pan, bring it up, because it sits really low. These diesel trucks, they got tons of room under there, so it just sits down there. We've got to change the way the water comes out. We're going to be running open loop cooling on this because we don't have enough room to run closed loop. And with the intercooler and everything, it's going to be a pain in the butt. So turbo inlet, we're going to be putting a turbo inlet somewhere over here, the turbo atmospheric inlet. And then over here, this is the Y bridge going into the intake manifold. So this, my plan is to actually get, I like the pusher intakes one. That one looks like it could work pretty good because it's fabricated steel and then powder coated. But this, I believe I'm going to be turning it back here, going where the EGR cooler used to go, and then actually skirt under the boat for the intercooler plumbing. But like I said, I have no idea whether that's going to work, whether we're going to have enough room for that. Who knows? We got to get this thing in the boat to check. It's kind of the next big step. And then, yeah, mounting the ECM, we're going to do it just like Inmar does it, just right on the back of the transmission here. Wiring super easy then. Chances are we're going to redo this wiring because it's pretty crusty. And that's kind of what we do here. I mean, nice big ball of wires right there, but that's for this motor. So that gonna remain pretty close to stock horsepower levels, maybe a little bit more. But since the transmission can't hold it, well, I don't want to blow up like a $3,000 transmission, and then also I I don't know how the drive shaft is going to fare, and I don't know how the prop's going to fare. So we're going to run probably a big 14-inch diameter prop, but I have no idea yet. Got to get a little further along in the project to be planning that kind of crap. But I don't want to twist the drive shaft. I don't want to break weird stuff. I want to make that boat go like 60 miles an hour and barefoot and slalom ski like wicked, even though it's going to be heavier. This motor is probably about 400 pounds heavier, so it's going to be like the same weight as my Response, but with a slightly worse hull. This is going to be a big experiment. It's not really to do anything. It's more to just like be different, I guess. So we'll see. Whatever happens, happens. And if this project doesn't end up going further or hit some roadblocks or whatever, then big deal. It's doesn't really hurt anybody. Like I said, still got to do fiberglass repair on the boat out there. So I mean, whatever. Who cares? Yeah, another problem we're going to run into probably is this oil filter housing and cooler is going to be touching the stringer. So PPE and relocation kit and whatever. So there's a lot of things I've been thinking about on this thing. But like I said, the biggest thing is going to be getting this fit in the boat. But yeah, this is kind of just a project introduction video. I'm not really going to do any work on this thing. But, and I can't guarantee I'm going to be doing any work on this thing anytime soon anyways, but we're going to be ordering stainless steel for the headers and the up pipes. That's going to be the first step, kind of get the ball rolling, and then, like I said, we're going to have to figure out how to get the motor into the boat for a test fit. So yeah, thanks for watching, and catch us on the next update video. Hopefully you actually got something interesting to show, some welding, some fab work. But yeah, I just want to say that if you're looking at any of these other projects in the shop, like the PGT Pro mod or our 71 Challenger build, this thing's gonna be leaving soon. 73 Blazer, but yeah, any of these, this is gonna be our long-term project right here in the shop, and then this is kind of a reoccurring one. We maintenance and run the program, so yeah, if you want to see more of this content, we're going to be posting it soon. You can actually go and follow where is it in the shop now? Oh yeah, right here. The LCR Performance YouTube channel. So we're going to try and get some updates. I mean, stuff gets busy, but then you forget to film. But yeah, we're going to try and post more regularly on that throughout the winter on projects and kind of what we're working on in the shop at the time. So yeah, if you want to see more of that performance side, some of that cool stuff, definitely head on over there and give us a follow, give us a sub, and yeah, ring the bell for notifications for when we post. So yeah, thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next one.